me from dust and turned me into such. All you granted me was lust. And what I seemed to grow was rust. Are you displeased? Are you angry? My might and my angels' wings have been bruised and restrained. Those who break to blood are so fumes in vain. So believe in me and elect, I'm your leader today. Rise! So speak for me, little sister. Wanna leave you for another master. Leave you in a pool
live. Yes, if you give the recap, your dice will be fixed. Not from the village she was passing through.
Going on, and Cheese hears something in the woods, and so she hears it multiple times, and so she brings it up to the party, and we send Klauth to go investigate, and it's two noisy individuals, and they're guards, and then they come up and have a conversation about a box, and one of them opened the box, and it was not a good idea that one of them opened the box. And then they come out of the woods.
For their lives.
Yeah, and then they came out of the woods, and then we had people barbecue because Inik roasted them alive with his lightning breath. Because he rolled like damn near max damage, and they had 9 hit points.
Baby, yeah.
In my notes, I literally in my notes, the way that I write down combat is I write combat and then the initiative order, and so I wrote the initiative order, and then I just put off to the side, and it killed them in a single turn. It doesn't matter.
He breathed on them and they died.
Quite literally.
Does that breath ever get stronger, like with your proficiency bonus?
Yeah.
Or...
Levels up a little bit.
With levels. Oh lord. And then we keep walking for about like another mile, and we don't get anywhere. Other than having a few conversations. Oh, and on one of the guards was a piece of paper that had 3 people on it. If I'm correct. One of them is Syndris's brother. Another one is Lara, with an X drawn over her. And then is the last one Syndris? I couldn't remember.
It is.
Okay. Yeah, it's just the 3 of them. Corvus asks Calico. She's as cryptic as ever.
We lost Rune.
Oh. She died.
Dead.
We are gathered here today. Oh, damn it, I was about to start your funeral.
I'm sorry, I don't know what happened. Both my monitors shut off, and then they came back on, and all my windows were still open, except Discord closed. I have no idea.
Well,
It's the Chinese.
Well, clearly you need to check if any of your windows are open, like physical windows, because you're letting all the Wi-Fi out, evidently.
Well, one technically is open, but I have a window fan unit in there to keep my room kind of cool.
Well, there you're letting the Wi-Fi out. That's the problem.
We
Yep.
just got a new router too.
You're just letting all
Damn.
the Wi-Fi out.
Continue,
We
Marin.
ended up following the path for way longer than we should have because it just leads to nowhere relevant.
Yet.
And then there's a conversation between Lessla and Sindris, who we learn her true name is for real. She says to us that her name is Zarfea, or at least to Lessla. And I have a dog underneath me. I apologize.
Oh, I cannot wait for Cheese to hear Lessla call her Sarfea.
But Sindris dropped the banger line of everything going wrong has happened because of the nobles. Mic drop.
No, Sindris did not say that.
Who said that?
I did. After the
Oh,
session.
Oh,
Oh, oops.
I mean,
So
where's the
everyone just
lie?
heard, yeah, everyone on stream just heard that for the first time.
Yeah.
Where's
Oops.
the
Well,
lie?
I put that in quotes before my session ended, little section, so I think you're gaslighting me. But okay. That's the end of my session notes. I
mean,
apologize.
we can
for
always
that
go
being-
back and watch the video.
Just watch.
You know
So I
what?
could pause- I'll
Everyone,
pause the session,
everyone
that's
go
good.
back. Everyone go back.
Yeah.
Watch the last 10 minutes of the video. Tell us what happened.
Yeah.
Never mind that the last
You'll
10 minutes
get
of the video
no
is just music.
comments.
we need to artificially boost engagement, Shadow.
I apologize for how incredibly incoherent that was.
It's fine.
Out of practice.
Don't worry.
Yeah.
I'll be more incoherent. I'm gonna go get a beer.
Okay.
God.
Let's
Session
hurry
hasn't
up and
even
get
started.
this session to somewhere important before he gets drunk. Anyway, let's see. I believe you were all taking a rest, and that was where we ended off.
Mhm.
Apologies, it's been a week, and my notes were not as detailed as they should have been.
Hey,
Understandable.
the club.
So let's see. You all took a rest in that, I believe, in the clearing where you found things. All right. So, yep. So I cut that off with you going to bed. So who is going to be keeping a watch tonight, if anyone is? Or did we already cover that?
Corvus is doing his thing.
Yep. As always,
Jesus,
Lessla will
per
take the
usual.
last watch.
All right.
Sapphire
just-
take like the midnight shift.
I just want everyone to roll a perception check, except Cheese, so you don't need to roll.
Cool beans.
Okay.
I don't know why you guys keep letting me go on watch. That's
Oh,
a
is it?
20.
There you go.
I can see why you're asking now. That's a great question. You insist, and no one can shut you up. So we just
Because
let
it's only fun if someone fails.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you the reason out of character is my character just wakes up and refuses to go back to sleep after they wake up.
All right. And Inik, will you be rolling one as well, or?
Or will you be sleeping off the exhaustion?
Oh yeah.
I think he should be sleeping off the exhaustion, honestly.
Wait, do I have disadvantage?
He's
because
also
I'm
getting a
human?
snack.
He's also grabbing a snack.
Oh,
Do I have
Dear
do I have
God.
disadvantage? I have
That would
disadvantage because I'm
explain
human.
things.
He just
This
ate
is why I can get my
throughout
snack
the entire
before
watches.
session starts.
Hello.
I have my
Huh?
snack. It's called a
I
thing
have
full of
disadvantage
M&Ms.
because I'm human.
Sorry, what?
I have disadvantage because I'm human.
No,
Can't see in the dark.
no, you're fine.
I like the sentence, do I have disadvantage because I'm human?
It is a sentence.
You know how I
it's a-
explain things. It's never the way it's meant to be explained.
I understood you.
Yes. How
Do
does
I-
the town smell like?
Yeah.
Inside
knew what
joke
I
that
meant.
nobody here gets.
I knew what I meant. That's all that matters.
Clarify while Knight is Knight is
feel like I
getting his
knew.
his food.
It's just a funny way to put it.
The other the campaign I ran for this lovely bunch.
Hmm.
Narrate a sort of
Yeah, lovely
poor,
bunch.
decrepit town. I was prepared for many questions. I was prepared for the asking of the names of NPCs. I was prepared for, the asking of what shops were in town. I was even prepared for, some more physical descriptions on certain places. After last time, I was even with what type of potatoes does he sell, which I really should have expected.
Oh
Forgot
dear
about that one.
God, I forgot that happened.
After that, I was even
Blood.
prepared for what the merchants were selling in terms of foods and vegetables. I was not prepared for what does the town smell like.
It's a valid question.
Valid question when you understand what the
It's a
intention of
valid
the question
it's
was.
a valid question in context. When you just say what does it smell like, dm.exe crashes.
Okay. Well, now that we're here, what does the night smell like?
Like a dying forest.
Well,
And-
no,
Like
only Cheese can
sulfur.
tell that.
A Corvus
And-
did.
Hello? Uh-oh, my Discord died. Hello?
It's not.
Wait.
I like
oh,
how you
oh,
removed the man that's recording.
you removed me, and I thought Discord crashed because it already did that to me today. I didn't realize I was disconnected because I can't hear Discord sounds.
Oh my God.
Beautiful.
So I was like,
Are we ready?
We're still
Is
waiting
Night
for
back
night.
yet?
Is Knight back or? No, he's not. Okay, well,
Jesus
it's not
Christ.
important. It's not
You
important.
know when
Nothing.
he's sleeping, it's fine.
you know what? Hold up.
Sleeping
I'll
is
roll a
fine.
second perception check, and that's Knight's perception.
Does he have the same?
I don't think his.
Yeah,
is
he has the same modifier.
Okay.
He has the
That'll
same
work.
modifier.
Okay.
Uh,
Okay.
Please tell me
Anyway.
someone's keeping watch while. Then again, Inik just stayed up all night last time and got a level
Yeah,
exhausted.
Inik actually should have disadvantage.
oh, hold up. Let me roll
It
again.
can't
Let's see who
get
gets in
much
that
worse
one.
than
Don't
3.
say that. Don't say
Don't
that.
say it.
Never say that.
I can
Roll a
roll
2.
worse.
Roll a 2. No.
Don't
Okay.
challenge Rex.
Okay.
Don't challenge me. I have the worst luck.
And sacrifice things to RNGesus.
Oh,
No,
Reminds me,
that's
Anyway.
I'm
not
gonna mute
fun.
myself while I
Twitter
sacrifice
talk.
things to DNGesus and the dice
Twitter
god.
talk.
Anyway. After
Silence,
that
heathen.
5 jeez. After that 5-minute tangent on absolutely nothing relevant, I'm truly sorry to anyone who had to sit through that. Yeah, no, all that for me to just tell you that the night passes without issue.
Great.
Love
you
it.
know, if the night was gonna
Yeah.
pass without issue, you don't even need to roll the perception check.
No, it's
Shadow.
to instill fear in
I
your
have to
players.
look, you gotta roll it every night, okay?
Instill fear.
If you're taking watches, you gotta roll the checks. Anyway,
No,
it passes without incident. In the morning, this place still feels off. It's a pretty overcast morning today. It looks like it's gonna rain later on.
is it overcast enough to cause obscure vision, or is it still like?
No, it's just enough to where it's like a gloomy day.
Okay. I would like to do.
Like
So it's going to rain.
An English spring day is a good way to put it.
Oh, a normal day. Got it.
Yeah.
Just
So it's
right
going
now
to
where I am.
rain.
I would like to go do something real quick in the morning. Corvus just off. I'm
Okay.
are these guys' bodies relatively close?
Are they relatively what?
Close. Spy.
No, and didn't you also disembowel them and leave them up against the tree?
He
That
disemboweled
was one of
one.
them.
Yeah,
Okay.
we walked like a mile away.
Yeah,
Oh,
no,
we're
it's
back in our original resting spot.
no,
We stayed where we
yeah,
No,
you guys
no.
camped in the clearing, to my knowledge.
We camped in the clearing
different
that was
clearing.
ahead.
How far away would they be?
About
like-
a mile.
about a mile.
Yeah, fuck. I don't know.
If you sprint the entire way, spending all your key points for your bonus action dash, you might be able to get there in like
If you were
a couple of
Kaito, you
minutes.
could. Only Shadow gets that reference.
Yes, that is true.
I think Corvus could hit an 8-minute mile. Maybe 7 if he's pushing it.
I-
Well,
He only
let me do
you
the
also
calculations.
forget he only has 2 key points.
Yeah.
If I double dash, I move about 10 miles per hour.
Mm-hmm.
If I dash,
But you can only do that for 12 seconds.
if I dash, I can move 10 miles an hour. If I double dash, I can move about 15 miles.
If you try and do it, you're gonna have to make a con save.
I'm not going
I
to.
will tell you that.
It's not going.
Welcome
All right.
back.
Welcome back, Knight.
I returned with chips. I had to scour the land for food.
I could tell. Inik failed his perception check with 3.
Not surprising.
Mm-hmm. Didn't matter. Nothing happened anyway. And now everyone is waking up in the morning.
So,
Oh, there was a long
Moving-
rest.
Mhm.
Yes.
yes.
Inik once again would have stayed up all night.
I fucking knew it. I called it.
I
Christ.
don't think you would have. You have
You already have
a level of exhaustion.
I'm surrounded by people I do not trust.
Roll a con save again. Disadvantage.
I mean, I have disadvantage regardless.
No, you
Oh
don't
yeah,
have
no, that's a
disadvantage
higher,
on
that's a higher
saves yet.
level. That's a higher
That's
level of
third
exhaustion.
level exhaustion.
Am I on the roll 20? No, it logged me
No,
out.
you're not.
Nice.
Oh, how lovely.
Oh my god! It's just like another website we know and love.
So if you double dash, it would take you 88 turns. Moving at. Oh wait, you move at 40. God damn it!
So
Change this
50.
calculation.
I move at 50.
You move at 50.
Can hear Rec being thrown off by that statement.
Okay, so it takes you
I'm
105.
fast.
It would take you 106 turns without dashing to reach a mile. Let me now
Well,
divide that by
I don't
2.
even need to roll the other one.
Yep, you fall asleep.
It would take you 52 turns without double dashing, or with double dashing to get to a mile.
Have we seriously just spent 5 minutes trying to decide how quickly
Yes, we
Corvus
did.
can run a mile? Okay.
You're
Or
waiting for
we
you to
didn't.
continue narration.
Rec did.
Yep. Yeah, I was waiting for your narration. It would take you 40 turns to reach there if you could double dash the entire time.
Okay.
I know this is a game where we do math a lot, but why did you do that math?
Because
Not
it's fun.
important. Anyway,
I have 2 questions, Senor G.
yes.
Does Inik still benefit from a long rest because he attempted to stay up all night? And does this clear my first level of exhaustion?
You will benefit from a long rest because you attempted it will not clear your exhaustion. That's how I'll rule it.
Okay. Thank you.
But you don't
Spells.
gain another.
My magic is back. I guess my magic is
Because
back
now
anyway.
has a passive perception of 6.
Mhm.
Okay. That is actually true. I forgot that's what that did. Okay.
Mhm.
So now morning arrives. The night goes safely without issue. You can still see your 2 new companions. Laura, sort of more nestled close to the fire once again, like probably a little bit dangerously close, if you're honest. And Syndris as far from it as possible as she usually is.
Mhm. I will just in the morning gently remind her that it is fire resistance, not fire immunity.
You wake her up with that, and she stretches and just like sort of sleepily 5 more minutes.
Rise
if
and
you
shine.
If you ever work for a noble house, you're going to have to wake up much earlier than this.
She very reluctantly sits up and gives you the stink eye, but doesn't say anything more.
I only wish to assist you in your endeavors.
You don't get a response for that.
Mm-hmm. Did you ever post the tiefling's name down? I cannot remember it.
Yes.
Lara, Lara.
Oh yeah, Laura. Now I remember it. Now that someone
Lara.
says it, I'm like, oh yeah.
I
And she
said
never-
it like 2 minutes ago. Right?
Like,
Yeah,
Lara
well, I
Croft.
wasn't paying attention to you.
God
He was
damn
doing
it.
maths.
Oh.
Boy, this is already gonna go off the rails. It already has.
She's
Okay.
We did
during the morning at one
we
point.
we came to the train station and we just started walking along the side.
Let's let Marin actually finish, please.
Yeah.
I was just
Go
gonna
ahead.
say, Cheese at one point during the morning, is just gonna look for a bug.
Okay.
Mhm.
Cheese, roll me a perception check.
Perception.
Mm-hmm.
Not
Sorry,
one.
Shadow.
I'll
the
give
way
you
said
advantage.
okay.
Cheese.
Well, shit. I already rolled it. It takes 8 years for them.
And you start breaking up very
Oh.
horribly when you
It-
click roll.
Yeah, it kills your
I'm a-
internet when you roll too.
I'm about to just grab my dice and turn on my camera.
You could just pop into roll
Okay.
20.
So there's the perception. That was a 2. You may roll again.
Thank you. All right. Perception. It's both roll 20 and D&D Beyond. Both of them are super slow.
And
Hmm.
I think it's roll 20. For some reason on certain browsers it just kills CPU.
Okay, that's better.
If-
Who did we just lose?
So Marin, what browser are you using? Because I might have a solution for you.
Chrome?
I don't have a
Yeah.
solution for you.
Yeah, thanks.
I've tried. I'm sorry. Chrome's
Have you tried
dog shit.
Firefox?
Have you tried Edge?
Let,
Why
let's
would you
That's what I
recommend
was
that?
using.
Let's
wrong with Edge?
save
We'll
that
figure it
for-
out before
Yeah,
next
let's
session.
save that for after session.
I use Edge.
Perception 24. Cheese, you find a very let's see, what are they called? The sort of greenish hued shell I want to say it's June bug or June beetle. Like the
Jewel
greenish
beetle?
hue on the shell. Jewel, that's it. Thank you.
Thank you, Animal
Jewel beetle.
Crossing.
Oh my
Yeah.
goodness, those are so pretty.
You find one of those. It is just minding its own business on a rather large blade of grass.
He's gonna cast Speak with Animals.
Okay, you cast Speak with Animals.
Hello.
Hello.
I love your bug voice. Well, how are you doing this morning?
Tired.
Oh, me too. Lots of people snore when they think they don't.
What's snoring?
It's a loud noise that some creatures make that's really annoying.
What's a creature?
Me and you. We are creatures.
I'm a beetle.
Yes.
It
A
seems
beetle is a
content
type
with
of creature.
it seems mildly content with this answer.
Hmm. You're the best type of creature, and she's gonna hold out her finger for the little bug to crawl on.
No, thank you. I like my grass.
Oh, I can give you more. And she's gonna use Druidcraft and make a little flower bloom in her hand.
Roll a persuasion check.
Fuck yes. Yes, this is what I'm here for.
Not 20.
In 4 years when it actually rolls.
Please stand by.
18.
18.
Not bad.
The beetle seems to consider this for a moment before crawling forward into your hands to begin munching on the flower.
Cheese is gonna carry him back to the rest of the group. I found a friend.
There is a beetle currently munching on a daffodil.
Hmm.
I was
Does your
thinking we could
friend-
ask him questions.
Miss Cheese, I believe you are the only one who can do so.
Well, you're better at coming up with questions than I am.
Well, what questions do you wish for him to answer? What do you think he could answer?
What he's seen, if he's seen anything that we might not have.
Then why did you not ask him yourself?
I wanted to double check it with people that are smarter than me.
Oh, you are plenty intelligent enough to speak to an insect, I believe.
That is the most backhanded compliment.
Right? What a fucking insult. Jeez.
Cheese looks proud. Um,
It's only backhanded if it's meant to be backhanded.
uh, Cheese looks down at her little bug friend.
Have you noticed anything strange recently?
What's strange?
Not normal.
What's normal?
Like, you know how you were munching off on your grass and then I picked you up and that was different? Wasn't it the same?
The beetle considers this for a moment.
Have you seen
Okay.
anything that you don't see every day?
This flower.
Hmm. It's a daffodil, I know. It's very sweet, isn't it?
What's sweet?
Good.
Hmm. What's good?
That flower. And things that are like that flower.
The beetle seems content with this answer.
I don't know if we can understand Cheese's part of the discussion.
We do. It
That's-
magically means that we can just hear Cheese explaining stuff to a beetle.
This is so amusing out of character.
It's like speaking to a human child. They're really, really stupid.
And these
What's
dogs
I hate them.
stupid?
The
Oh,
assumption that
nothing
doesn't
you need to
extend
worry
to
about.
adults is funny.
Well, insect has like one intelligence.
If that.
You have to have at least one or they die.
But anyways, have you seen something that you don't see every day? Like, someone like that walking by, and she's gonna point to Corvus, but in green.
It nods.
I was fully
When?
expecting you to say what's green.
What was that?
I was
When?
saying. Oh, good. Sorry.
When?
Yes.
About just now.
I forget how difficult it is to talk to bugs.
It points at
I-
you, Cheese. With one finger.
Oh, no,
I-
no, no. I'm different. See, I have a horde. He doesn't.
I do believe these bugs only have a lifespan of up to a few weeks. It may not be old enough to understand.
Oh, blue beetles have longer lifespans than that.
Still eating the flower.
Ask before you continue interrogating the bug. Would you please ask him how many days he's been alive?
How long have you been alive?
What's alive?
Oh, this is going to be a lot more difficult than I originally anticipated. Oh,
How many times has he seen the big light in the sky come and go?
okay. How many days have gone by? Ever.
What's a day?
Whenever the big ball in the sky goes by.
There's a ball in the sky? What's a ball?
Cheese is gonna show him the sun.
Probably burn his eyes out.
You point to the clouds in the sky.
Oh yeah, because it's gloomy. Fuck.
Oh, goodness, I'm going to keep you forever and ever. You're just too precious.
What's
I do not think-
precious?
I do not think we will get any information out of it, considering your side of the conversation that we hear.
Yes, it's very difficult. We should probably try raccoon. They're a bit smarter.
Well,
I don't know.
But
The
that
mods
brings-
were very helpful.
with that being said, let us return to the encampment so that we may keep Laura somewhere safe while we go investigate the village.
Oh, yes.
I would very much like to not go back there if I was kidnapped.
Yes, which is why I suggest you go to the encampment where Zarfea is from.
Yeah, yes, I was agreeing with you.
Hmm. It is difficult for me to understand that people usually don't.
So fair.
I'm sorry, what was that?
Who's Zarfea?
Zarfea, our elvish companion.
Oh.
Reason back in my mind, just out of character, I was like, that's a weird way to pronounce Sapphire.
She's currently sitting over by a tree cleaning her knife.
She tilts her head at Zarfea / Sindris, but she doesn't say anything.
No. Let us go.
Yes.
Corvus finishes tearing down camp.
Excuse
I'm
me, little
assuming you've
bug
got-
sir.
Go ahead.
She's just gonna grab a jar, and she's gonna poke a hole in the top of it. She's gonna druid craft some plants in there. She's gonna put them in the jar and put them back in her bag.
Okay.
Yes. The terrain, whatever the fuck they're called,
Terrarium?
You have
Terrarium.
you acquired jewel beetle in a jar.
Fuck yes.
Is there a letter and a number on the bottom of the jar lid?
Fish, go away.
No.
Corvus is trying to, as we're walking back to the encampment, any sign of mint, even if it's not assuming it's whatever the creature is, he's just looking for.
Roll a perception check.
I think I'll also be trying to do the same because mint seems to be very important.
Less than 10. Here we go.
A.
Hold on.
No, neither of you get the scent of mint.
I will have because I have a feeling that Zarfea is going to continue to be a slightly antisocial. I'm going to have Klauth keep her company while I use, as we walk, ritually cast detect magic over and over again.
Mm-hmm. Okay. You tell Clough to go sit on her shoulders, and Clough gives you a look, but does it.
Cheese is gonna do the same thing as Lessla, but with speak with animals to see if she can kind of listen in on animal conversations that are happening.
Do you have
around.
ritual casting?
Yes.
For speak with animals, yeah.
Okay. Just wasn't sure.
Mhm.
So yeah, you both continually do that. Cheese, you hear the occasional some small at one point you hear hup 2 3 4 hup 2 3 4 and see a line of ants going across the path. And you hear just munch 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 munch, and upon closer inspecting find a grasshopper.
Do I hear any more intelligent animals?
Not really. It's just insects at the moment.
Does the grasshopper go and the bird eats the grasshopper.
No, listen, Marin. Let the intrusive thoughts
Good
win.
lord.
They're very friend-shaped bugs. Pick them all up.
Cheese kind of wants to pick up the grasshopper. She doesn't
Pick
want.
them all up.
Can't bite.
They're all friends.
You at one point hear snarling and see a centipede duck back under a rock.
It saw the sun.
I-
I can relate to that.
Oh. I want it, but I don't.
Cheese is just gonna look over to. She's probably standing next to Lessla. She's just gonna look over to her, no context.
Should I?
No.
Oh. I was hoping you wouldn't say that.
Say what?
What you just said.
How? You must have activated my instincts. Did you ask a question?
Never mind. It's unimportant.
More
He went
snarling
away.
from under the rock.
Oh, boo you!
Cheese is saying that
I
to a rock.
apologize. Did I insult you?
Oh, no, not you. I was speaking to someone under a rock.
Now, I know Corvus is not that intelligent, but you can't speak about him like that.
How do I hear this thing?
No, Cheese is just gonna lift up the rock and reveal the centipede.
That's who I was talking to.
It snarls harder.
Does it attack
Oh,
her?
hush.
It does not. It just snarls.
She's gonna pick it up.
Now it bites you.
That's enough. That's very rude.
It continues to bite you.
I actually have they have a stat block and they do like poison damage.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, a
We
swarm
want
of
giant
them.
versions of
Not
it
a
like Session
singular
2.
Oh, a
centipede,
singular
yeah.
one has a stat block. I'm pretty sure.
Does it really?
No,
Yep.
I think they're just a swarm of centipedes is what it is.
Oh, a snowball centipede has a.
Are you thinking about the giant centipedes that we fought
Nope.
like session 1?
Well,
Hey, I-
regardless, this one is just repeatedly biting cheese and biting and stinging cheese on the finger.
I will put you in a jar, young man.
It does
Do
not
it.
cease.
Do it. Put him in a jar.
I'm putting him in a jar. I'm grabbing
You
another
put the
jar.
you put the centipede in a jar. It
And I
hisses
druid
and
craft.
snarls more.
I druid craft some shit in there. I angrily poke a hole in the top. I put the lid on.
The
This is why I
centipede
don't
begins
like
trying to
centipedes.
crawl its way out of the hole. It is just slightly too small. It snarls.
That's your
Yeah.
breathing hole. You don't get anything else.
I know what.
Now say
confused me.
hello to your beetle friend.
She's gonna
It's a,
shove it.
because I know it confused me. It's because a quasit can turn into a centipede, but there's actually no centipede block. It's annoying.
Mmm.
There's a spider
Mm.
stat block though.
I just love the
This is
idea-
like one of your small garden variety centipedes.
I just love the thought of Cheese going, say hi to your beetle friend, like the fucking meme of fight, 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 kiss, kid, just banging the jars together. Say
Cheese
hello.
shoves the centipede back in her bag.
Miss
The
Cheese,
snarling slowly fades as you place it in the bag.
Me.
Miss Cheese, are you antagonizing the wildlife?
I'm not antagonizing it. It was antagonizing me first.
Understandable.
I haven't heard anything useful yet.
Well, at the very least, we are being somewhat productive, I would think.
We at least now have a good distraction. That's what I'm going to call that thing. Distraction.
A distraction for you or a distraction for the enemy?
Yes.
I'm
I
so
figured
glad
Little
that's
Menace was a
clarified.
good name. Distraction
No
works too.
distraction. Throwing a jar of a centipede that will bite you is usually a good distraction. I mean, I got distracted when a giant one bit me, and then I... Yeah.
Less of a distraction, more of unconsciousness.
Cheese, go ahead and roll me a perception check as you guys
Oh,
continue
Lord.
on.
Stand by. What's the command in roll 20?
Slash R 1d20. Slash R space
Okay.
1d20.
Okay,
Nice.
so
Oh, shit.
Cheese, pretty much as soon as you say that, you start hearing some mumbling off to the side.
She's like a pointer dog.
It's like someone
Or-
or something talking to themselves.
Yeah. She's like a pointer. Her ears perk up and she flicks her head over. She's straining
Everyone
to hear
sees
more and more can be
Cheese
heard.
do that. Okay. So Cheese, as you attempt to sorry, as you attempt to hone in on it, you do so very quickly with a roll like that. You hear like the mumbled sounds of someone chewing. I must say, it's rather good grass.
I like grass.
Hold on, and she's gonna step through the bushes.
You step through the bushes and what's that? Who goes there?
Me,
Show
I
yourself.
promise. I'm showing myself. I'm right here.
You step through the bushes and you see a horse tied to a stump.
Oh,
Dapper horse. It needs a top
oh,
hat.
sir.
Oh, I say, young woman, you nearly gave me a fright.
I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to. I just heard you talking, and I mean, I'm not going to lie. You're probably much more interesting conversation than the people I was walking with.
Which
I
point
should-
Lessla
I
comes
think
out of the
Yeah,
brush
Sapphire followed. It's like,
and says is,
Oh dear,
Is
noble.
that really
I
what
can
you
see
think of
I
me?
can see what you mean.
Don't say things like that. She has a sense.
I'm sorry, what?
Nothing. What's your name?
Oh, yes, of course. Forgive me. It's so long since I get. Wait, one moment.
Sorry.
And he starts to no, this is not me fumbling for the name. This is the horse actually doing this.
Oh shit.
I am called Blue Cheese.
Oh yes, I of course remember my own name. I just have to remember the proper rank. You see.
Oh, rank.
God, it's Colonel Mustard.
Yes. Of course. My most sincere apologies, young lady. I am Colonel Chestnut. At your service.
Oh my
I
Oh,
love
well, I
him.
always love talking to a man with a rank.
Thank
Just like a man in uniform.
Do you not see that I am in mine?
I know
There
you
is
are.
there is a symbol on the side of his saddle. It's not one you recognize, Cheese.
Excuse me, my lady. Do you recognize this symbol? Or actually, better for me to ask you, Colonel.
Oh,
I'm
a
gonna
symbol.
take a look at the symbol.
What company do you serve with?
So before I give the Colonel's answer, Lessla, you do recognize the symbol as it's not one you really expected to see here, like in the water, within the borders of Waterdeep, but it's not that far off. It's a symbol of the Purple Dragon Knights.
Oh.
As
let's-
for the colonel's answer, my dear woman, I serve as the head of the finest cavalry in all of what the devil is this place again?
But somewhere near Waterdeep. Kind of in the
The
middle of nowhere.
finest cavalry forces in the vicinity.
Well, isn't it wonderful?
Yes, indeed.
Who is the horse's rider?
Oh, what happened to your rider, dear sir?
Oh, that old buffoon. Hello, dashed off into the woods some time ago and hasn't been back since.
Did he say anything about where he was going?
No, not really, but he always struck me as sort of a scatterbrained fellow. Not the type cut out for military service, you see.
Ah, I see. I've noticed that it takes a very particular type of person.
Oh, yes, yes, indeed.
What was his rank?
What was his rank? Do you know?
Oh, something low, I presume.
Ah,
Truthfully,
training the
didn't pay
newbies.
too much attention to the fellow. Yes, of course. 'Tis a colonel's duty.
He holds his himself in a proud posture.
Might I pet you?
Well, now, normally it's not something I would allow, but since you've asked.
Oh, yes, I apologize. I totally forgot. You're on duty. It shouldn't be. Oh,
No, no, young lady, quite all right.
She's gonna give him a scritch behind the ears.
How many days ago was he left here?
when did your rider leave?
Oh, it's been some time, actually.
How long?
3 or 4 days, I should think.
Oh my
Fortunately, he
goodness.
left me by this fine water supply.
You look over and see like a 3-foot wide pond.
And this very lovely grass.
Oh my goodness. That's such a shame.
Yes,
His
it is
rider's
rather a shame, isn't it?
Yeah, Cheese is gonna inform everybody else.
his rider's been gone for 4 days.
That is unusual, especially for one of a knightly order.
Which way
I
did he
will.
go?
Oh, which way? Oh, yes. Right over through that trail over there.
Hmm.
Are we gonna take the horse with us?
Yes,
There are
we're
some
taking the
odd.
horse with us.
Yes, of course we are.
We're living there.
I'm so happy.
Well,
There are
backup
some
food's
odd.
always not always good to have.
There are some odd goings on in this forest. I must say I'm concerned for your rider.
Oh, dash it all. He's gone off and gotten himself into some sort of trouble. I'm, of course, going to have to be the one to bail him out.
Oh, yes, yes, of course. You'll have to come with us. I wouldn't want to leave you alone. You'd need a troop with you.
Oh, and I certainly couldn't bear to leave a sensible young woman like yourself alone in such a ghastly place.
And apparently with a noble.
Ah, yes, Cheese being called the sensible, my favorite thing.
Of course. Now let me untether you.
And she's
Oh,
gonna
yes,
untie
quite right.
him.
Everybody, this is Colonel Chestnut. He is a man of military rank, and he shall be referred to as such.
Good question. Does this horse react weirdly to my presence?
And react really to
Doesn't seem
cheese.
to have yet.
Does it react weirdly to the
Jeez.
Drake's presence?
To the Drake's presence, no, but at the same time, this is a war horse.
Okay, just making sure. I figured that was the case, but I wanted to make sure.
This is an animal that's clearly meant for this sort of thing.
Cheese.
Jeff?
How could a horse hold a rank in a military? That makes no sense.
Pleasure
He's
to
in
meet
the
you, Colonel
cavalry.
Chestnut. Sapphire's just going along with it. She's not
With
questioning it.
with my experience dealing with Waterdeep, would I know, like, is it normal to give certain animals in like cavalry?
Not in
ranks?
Waterdeep.
Okay.
Yep.
But
Yep.
then again, Waterdeep doesn't really have horses, so you've only
They
had.
have a griffin cavalry,
They do, but you've not had dealings with them.
thankfully.
Lessla will turn to Inik and says, "It is not uncommon for there to be quote-unquote mascots of knightly orders that do receive a honorary rank.
Me,
He's covers his ears.
Chic.
How dare you?
I don't think it can understand me.
May understand some words, but it's been trained to understand. But other than that, yeah.
It can understand cheese.
Yeah.
I don't think it can understand me.
Can understand enough.
Horses
Horses
pretty
are very
smart.
intelligent creatures.
They are very intelligent, but I'm also not talking to it.
Mm-hmm.
Now,
It's a
let's
pleasure
go
to
find
meet you,
your
Colonel
rider.
Chestnut. I am Sapphire. Pleasure to meet you.
Oh, yes, this is Sapphire.
Pleasure,
Um,
young lady. He dips his head, acknowledging.
Sapphire returns the bow.
Quite like this
This
one.
is the knight, Sir Inik Trothar.
Ah, fellow man of the military. And he stands at attention with his head held high, as much as a horse can.
No, horses can stand at attention. That is actually a thing. They are trained to do so.
This is this is Corvus.
Pleasure.
He likes to brood.
The head.
You stick out your hand.
I dip the head. Just
You
nod
dip
of,
the head.
yeah.
The horse returns the gesture.
This is Lady Lara, a bard.
Lara looks around for a minute, like looking to everyone else, like, what should I do?
I gesture to kind of bow your head.
She gets the most confused, exasperated look on her face, like, you want me to what? And but after a second and realizing you're serious, she looks to the horse and does her best to try and curtsy without a dress.
Oh, I love that. Cheese skips Syndrus and then motions to Lessla and then says,
And this is the lovely lady, Lady Lessla Silverster of House Silverster of the Silver Marches.
Don't believe I'm familiar with the place. Nonetheless, pleasure to meet your acquaintance, my lady.
It's a pleasure to meet you all.
Leslie, you just see the horse sort of like bow its head, shake a little bit, and whinny.
Yep. With that, Lesla will do a formal courtesy and says, "Well, Sir Horse, I believe that our companion here has requested you to lead the way to your compatriot. I'm talking to a horse. I don't think he can understand me."
It's all right, I'll translate. No, I'm saying the exact same thing. I'm speaking common. Oh, goodness. What has the world come to? If you could
Magic.
lead us in the direction of where your master went, that would be
She's
wonderful.
having an existential crisis.
Master, I shan't call him that.
Oh, my apologies. A slip of the tongue.
Let me see.
Your
Subordinate would be
subordinate.
far.
Yeah.
Yes, far more fitting term that. Right, come along.
This horse is
Off we
chaotic.
march.
Is chaotic neutral.
Carrington.
I hope you all know this.
Carrington,
good.
can you please give the horse a top hat?
Oh, get no top hat. It's a normal horse.
No,
Thank
it
you.
needs barding.
Horse barding makes sense, but top hat, no.
You need to get what you need to give it is the old British pith helmet.
Oh, yep.
The
mhm.
Colonel's pith helmet.
Yeah, no.
It currently does have a bit of armor on his head that is somewhat similar.
1 second,
know what-
hang on.
I know it's going to be I know if it possible at all possible, it's going to be difficult, but because it's 3 to 4 days, so the track is not fresh. It's going to be really hard to track, depending on how frequently this is disturbed by animals and how wet the mud is. Is there any kind of tracks of a man in, say, light to medium armor, medium to heavy armor? Any sign?
So definitely heavy armor, yes. There are
still, like-
definitely some signs that someone has gone this way.
Yeah.
To actually follow and track them will be a check.
Yeah, I know. I was like saying, like, would it be possible to do that at this point with how long has passed between now and then? That's what I was asking.
There's also
Yeah, no, he'll definitely be
probably
possible to
still
track.
the rider's saddlebags where we can get stuff. So
Yes, he does, and there are indeed still some saddlebags.
Right, so
Mhm.
survival. A little bit of whispering. Can I get the boy to help me?
Yes, you can.
Less than 10. Here we go.
I will ask Cheese to ask for if his subordinate kept a journal within the saddlebags.
Cheese will ask.
Journal? No matter of such things. Far too uncouth a subordinate to keep such a sophisticated thing around him.
Oh, how unfortunate.
Hmm.
I truly hope we're better company.
Oh, yes, quite.
Horse in the fucking hat.
I love it.
Okay. So, Corvus, with that check, you are definitely able to pick up and start tracking this.
The moment I get a sniff, I move myself. I move from the back to the front and begin
Mhm.
my whole thing.
Oh, by Jove. Rather good tracker you have on your employment.
Oh, yes, he's practically an expert.
Ah, I see.
He's odd, but
lead
I've
on
grown
by
quite
all
fond.
means. So sorry. What was that?
He's quite odd, but I've grown quite fond of him.
Ah, I see.
But yeah, Corvus, please lead the way.
So, Corvus, with that check, you are able to start tracking very easily, and the tracks aren't hard to follow. Like they
Yeah.
sink very deep.
Yeah,
You
I was
can
like
tell
wondering
this
how
is
deep
someone
is the
who's like a
mud, how much
Yeah.
animal traffic is. There's a lot of stuff. Like, 'cause 3
There's
to 4
not a lot
days,
of
you
animal
can lose a
traffic. It
trail.
looks like whoever this was, they sort of just started traipsing through the jungle.
Does it look like cut through a few places as well?
Yes, you can definitely see some cuts.
And based on roughly gauging this, how big, how hurried do the steps look?
They don't look very hurried. They look rather leisurely.
Right, and this is relatively. I mean, it's hard to tell because he's wearing heavier armor, but can I tell based on shoe size? I can roughly approximate height. All right,
With
Corvus'
that,
brain naturally
yeah,
going
no.
framework.
With that roll, I'll give it to you. You would estimate his height to be. So this is definitely a taller fellow, like 6'6" at the very least.
I imagine Corvus is like, okay, this man is 6'6", about 235 pounds.
And a question: with 6'6", and remember we have a fellow back there. You know, it's vaguely humanoid, and boots kind of are generally one size fits. You know, they generally have a certain shape to
Mhm.
them. Do they resemble Inik's feet?
They do not.
They have a bit of like a wider toe tread.
Hmm.
Okay, so it's just
No,
a
they. It
humanoid.
seems like very generic armor.
Definitely humanoid, just a tall fellow. Could be anything with normal style.
Yeah.
But definitely a medium-sized creature.
Yeah. And if you relay that I'm assuming you relay that information to the group.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah.
It's
So-
not as fluent as that. but yes.
Lessla, from what you've heard, the Purple Dragon Knights themselves
it's most likely this is a human, maybe a half elf. That's
Mhm.
just the majority of their order. Not by
More-
design of any means, just by location.
Mhm. The Purple Dragon Knights themselves are very much originate from a human-centric nation. More than likely, we are dealing with a human, maybe a half-elf. Anything else would be an anomaly.
And
Chances are is that he is martially trained to a degree.
Lessla,
and-
as you're talking, and speaking of anomalies, that's where you do encounter one with the tracks. As Corvus, it's not even gradual. It's very suddenly. You're tracing these very blatantly person and heavy armor tracks, and very suddenly it's like there's one step of the armored track, then there is a step of something clawed and far more bestial.
With
Um,
Corvus's experience in forest and probably rumors about him himself.
So I'll
Right.
give this one to you for free because of your companion. The
Yeah.
closest thing you can find would be boys' footprints. These are
Ooh.
very reptilian.
Corvus squats down and he's just examining and goes, "That's unusual."
would an Arcana check be able to
Yes.
give me insight on
And
this?
you will have this with advantage.
Can I also make an Arcana
Oh.
check because I'm proficient?
Yes, you can.
Is it higher than a 23? I'm just gonna ask now.
Not necessarily.
Okay, that's a 27.
Okay.
Cor- I'm out of practice, okay?
Corvus. This is you've heard of werewolves. It's very clear that there must be were-drakes as well.
Yeah.
That you are convinced.
But
That's
it
the
hasn't
only
been
thing
a
that makes any
full
logical
moon
sense.
recently.
Stares at
Yeah.
footprint, trying to think what it is. Just can't think of it. Screams.
It's
witch,
either
and takes
that-
out pike
yeah.
and torch to fucking do
You know,
Salem witch
it's either that Corvus or it's one of Inik's distant relatives. One of the two.
Okay, now that's just racism. That's just straight up racism.
Yeah, he turned into a lizard folk.
It happens.
She turned me into a newt. Got better.
Yeah.
Okay. Lessla, with your check. Yes, the comparison to the ambush drake is very accurate. There is something that is a far more accurate one though, and that is Clouth. Except this is very clearly much bigger than Clouth. And very clearly bipedal.
Guys, we're dealing with raptors.
Love a girl.
Million. This is what it is. You should turn into a lizard man.
At which point, Lesla, with her staff, just kind of points to it and says, "Is the way that these foot is structured, as well as the claws, as well as the spread. This looks like a true dragon."
What?
The
Now that she says
footprints,
that, Corvus, you can see it.
it looks like a true dragon.
What's the
Of course, it's
what makes
bipedal.
dragon true?
Well, there's a difference between drakes and dragons. True dragons are, well, generally speaking, how they're classified is that they get stronger as they age. It's not necessarily always true,
Clouth
But that
puffs
is
out his
general-
chest and tries to look regal.
but that is
dragon
generally the case.
Isn't the dragon that just always tells the truth?
No. It's more complicated than that. Wyverns, while considered dragons, are drakes. They are not true dragons. Clouth here, and she will gesture to Zarfea with Clouth on her shoulders, is, while they are called pseudo-dragons, they are true dragons.
You hear in your mind the correction, wizard dragon.
Wizard dragon, yes, I apologize, Clouth. Wizard dragons are true dragons.
Cheese leans over to Captain to sorry, Colonel Chestnut.
Pseudo dragon.
Sorry, what?
He's a pseudo dragon. His title is fake.
What's a pseudo dragon?
That thing, and she
So
points to
if
the corner.
this man.
I
That-
see. The small scaly cat. Yes.
So
Nope, that's what he is now. He's a
yeah,
small
nope,
scale cat.
technically. So if I'm judging these footprints right, it's not like something's down. It's a normal step, which means
More than likely, if I were to take a guess, if this truly is a true dragon, it is possible it is a variant of true dragon that has the capability of shape change.
that makes sense.
Now, this is only a hypothesis and very unlikely. In fact, I don't think that this is the guess at all, but I have little evidence to say otherwise. And there's like, despite the fact that she's wearing glasses, there's like a glimmer of excitement in Lesla's eyes as she
Yeah,
says
cool.
this.
You should probably follow it.
I agree wholeheartedly.
I wouldn't know why we'd stop now.
Well, dragon, caution. And Corvus crouches low and rolls around, rubs himself on some foliage, gets some smell on him, and Miss Silverster,
Yes.
I do have one question. They're bipedal dragons?
Well, dragons can make themselves bipedal, or they can choose to be quadrupedal. Generally speaking, and she goes into a tirade about the classifications of dragons, as well as
Based on his footprints, a smaller bipedal, perhaps some sort of humanoid dragon hybrid.
And it just stares at Corvus.
well, there are a couple of things that fall under the category. There's the Dragonborn. There are the kobolds, which aren't really dragon
It's
related. There's also the
big.
lizard folk. That could, although lizard folk are not under the classification of true dragons either. It could be, and I hesitate to say this as it would lead to bigger problems, some sort of lizard folk shaman?
Well, I was thinking perhaps it could be some kind of half dragon.
Generally speaking, half dragons either take the characteristics of the non-dragon race or are born as a dragon.
I'm thinking, based on the footprints and all, I'd say it closer fits with that.
And Lessa, I will let you know with your knowledge, half dragons don't live nearly long enough for one to still be around.
Yeah. Based on when dragons disappeared, a half dragon is highly unlikely. They would have to be a druid.
Or an elf.
Or, generally speaking, the dragon characteristics will overwrite the fade characteristics of the elf. The reason I say druid is because I have read stories of druids that are capable of living 10 times the lifespan of their race.
Hayes is gonna... Sorry, go ahead.
There are, I believe, monks also have a similar capability, but that requires advanced training within their discipline.
Yeah, Corvus, you have heard similar things living in the forest, just from occasionally some of the elves.
Yeah.
They have different names for those things, but that sounds about right to what they described.
Good.
I suppose certain types of clerics or warlocks are capable of it as well.
They
Cheese
were.
But
is gonna. God damn it! You keep pausing, and I think you're done with your sentence. I'm sorry.
you go ahead, go ahead.
Well, Cheese is just gonna look over the horse.
Colonel Chestnut,
Yes.
is your rider human?
As far as I've been told. It's not an excuse for one of that.
What was so pitiful about him?
Oh, never conducted himself much like a knight. Rather new to the order as well.
Hmm. Very young?
Oh, very. And all the brashness of a fool to show it.
Young and proud. I see.
Oh, I wouldn't say proud. I'd say, foolhardy.
Foolhardy.
Yes, quite.
And you never noticed anything odd about him other than him being a brash young man?
He liked to chat about odd things to himself on the ride. Never paid it much mind, but wasn't going over
Anything
any sort of military drills that I'm familiar with. Which I found to
Was-
be, rather, undiligent of him.
Oh, yes, well. Unfortunately, not all of us can be as focused as you on the
Oh,
task
no,
at
no,
hand.
of course. It takes quite a commitment.
Was there anything you noticed he talked about often? To himself or to...
No, I never quite paid that much attention to him.
But he talked to himself often?
Yes, yes, mostly mumbling.
Hmm. Odd.
Cheese will relay this information to the rest of the party.
Hmm. Was just gets
Very-
low and begins following at a slower pace.
Very likely that he could have just been in disguise as a foolhardy young man, though I don't know why you would do such a thing.
Sapphire is also staying near the back.
Never really. From what little experience I have of others within my field, magic type, I don't know. Circle, who knows? I've never known any to speak of turning into dragons, but that could just be me not knowing.
Hmm.
And it's been hundreds of years. We need to be able to have seen these animals previously. If they're even considered animals at all.
Well, no, the classification of drakes and dragons are dragons. Beasts is generally what druids turn into from the records.
Roll me an
Are they-
Arcana check, Lessla.
Alright. That's a nat one.
Yeah,
Right.
you honestly don't know enough about druidic magic to comment one way or the other on
Mhm.
that. Like, with any, like, serious knowledge, you can guess and make an educated guess, but that's all it's going
Dragons
to be.
can change into whatever they want, so maybe other things can too.
Yes, it's entirely possible that druids might have a similar ability.
I can't wait for Cheese to turn into an elemental.
Fire,
Druids can-
baby.
Druids can only turn to animals. Oh. cautious. I'm looking because the tracks are days old. I'm looking for like, do they still seem very casual, or do they seem more hurried? Is there like shedded
No, it
armor
seems very
lying around?
casual, and in fact, as you continue on, you notice that where there were these cuts, these like cuts and slashes through the woods, now what you see instead is you come across parts of the just bits and pieces of plant life where it looks like it's just kind of been burned away.
I'm going to. So, how is a? I'm gonna smell the burn. Is a slight sulfurous smell, or is it just burnt wood? It's hard to you can tell.
Just the smell of like ash.
Alright. Right, so it can breathe fire. Good to know.
I do not believe this is a breath, Lessla says as she looks at it. If it were, it would be much more devastating.
As we've
I
seen.
think that this may be a residual effect from its presence. It hasn't rained recently, has it?
No, not in a bit actually. Been a few days.
I mean, then again, we also had our lapse of memory, so
Mhm.
There's also that.
Mm-hmm.
There must be something that gives us. Is there any like kind of discarded armor or anything? Or gear?
No.
Just keep. It's feel while I'm looking down, the Drake's looking up. While the Drake's looking down, I'm looking up, kind of thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you all continue making your way.
Cheese has one more question to ask the horse.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I guess two more questions. Do you recall the name of your rider?
Oh, young chap's name? No, can't say that I do.
Oh. Oh, may I
Like I
search
said,
through your...
rather
your-
inconsequential fellow.
Yes. Might I search your saddle?
Mm-hmm.
Some riders are so silly and forget where they leave it and have to write their names in it.
Mm-hmm.
Bet she's gonna check if there's a name in the saddle or like in the
Okay.
saddlebags or something.
Roll me a perception check.
Okay. Stand by. I'll take your code again. But yeah, cheese is like looking. I guess she would have to take it completely off, but the place that most riders burn their name into the saddle is near the horn. If you flip it upside down, it's in that soft bit of leather. Or just kind of like under the flaps. And she's checking in the saddlebags if there are
Oh yeah.
saddlebags. Or...
Checking in the saddlebags, you find some notes. They look like just standard orders. They're patrol orders, which is odd. Because whoever did this clearly, this is not patrol. This is way out of the range of the Purple Dragon Knights. Certainly out of range for patrol.
Mhm.
Because they're not ones to sort of antagonize Waterdeep.
Yeah.
Even though it wouldn't really be considered that, it's still not proper etiquette to just go marching your forces into the neighboring uh, place of power.
Mhm. But there
So
are no
what?
names.
So no,
orders.
with over the patrol orders, there's not really a name on the orders themselves. Whatever they were probably in a letter at some point, and whatever letter that might have had a name on it. But on the orders themselves, there's not.
On the saddle itself, there is also not. Where you do find a name would be on the small. There's a small little like sack of food and like rations that are in there. You know, some like dried meat and some dried like cracker bread. You know, very very simple. Not rations that are designed to be out for more than like a couple days.
Mhm.
And there is a name on these. Or, well, not so much a name as an initial, rather. That being just the initial of M.
How long has M been your rider?
Oh,
Is this a new assignment?
Yes, quite.
When did you leave?
Oh, hard to say. Perhaps, perhaps so. A week and a half, I would have to say. Prior to him leaving.
What are you doing so far from?
Well, actually, Cheese wouldn't know the territory of Gold Dragon Knights. Never mind. But she will hand the orders to Lessla because she knows more than Cheese does.
I will look through it, and once I see that, I will say, why did your rider take you so far out of your patrol range?
I'm not entirely sure. I wasn't even aware he had. It's the rider's job to interpret the orders. It's my job to ensure that, well, the rider gets back, and the rider gets where they're going. It's a very fine-tuned operation, you see.
Cheese is translating all of this.
I would assume so.
Mhm.
I'm just saving time at this point.
Thank you.
All right. Well, Lesla, like, rubs her chin and she says, "Did your rider ever disappear one night before you left uh, the territories of Cormia?"
No, I shan't say that he did.
And no sudden change in disposition?
No, most certainly not. Always the lazy fellow.
Interesting. Looking at the note, is this meant to be a single person patrol?
Yes.
Which, from what you know, not so about Purple Dragon Knights, because you don't. They might be different. Every order has their own customs and practices, but from what you can tell, like a single person patrol is. It's usually like a very confined thing. Like you don't go out far off on patrol with just one person. And the reasons for this are many. It's just as much for like it's mostly for safety, in that not even if you're expecting to encounter anything, but if you go very far out, especially someplace rural, you know, if the horse missteps, you could be very gravely injured and just stuck out there. That's why you should have two, just in case.
Yeah.
And usually it'd be more common to see 3 or even 4 for like an extended patrol. For one, you'd typically call it an outrider.
Yeah. How long ago did you leave Cormia?
To repeat what he said to Cheese about a week and a half.
Hmm. Interesting. And I will fold up the orders and put it into my bag and say, if we ever happen to pass by Cormier and we cannot find your master, then it is best that we deliver news of his disappearance, as I'm sure that the Knightly Order has its own traditions on dealing with those that may potentially be deserters.
Yes, yes. I should quite like to see him get a proper thrashing.
Aren't we still under orders to not leave Waterdeep? Or at least land of Waterdeep?
Pretty much for now.
Yes. We're on the edge of Waterdeep right now, so
Yeah.
we're towing that line
I know.
really heavily.
Oh, if I travel 10 more steps, I'm the furthest from Waterdeep I've ever been.
Where's
I
the
will
lie?
keep- Anyway. But do we notice anything as we keep
I'm
walking?
just, yeah, I've been doing this the entire time.
You notice that you're getting closer. That same thing. It's now sort of interspersed with just like chopping, and you can see that Corvus, again with your check, it was a very good check. As they sort of continue on, they've hacked. It seems less like they are just doing to clear a path, and more so they're just doing it out of boredom. Because the Sin just dart a little bit further from the path, and there are just some hack marks in random trees, which takes a good bit of strength to get a sword to hack that deep into a tree.
Yeah, I'm
It's
noticing
not
that.
designed to do
Strong.
that,
On strong, sharp, and also
and much less to pull it back out.
and with size, and yeah, because once you get in, it's like, oh fuck, you gotta do that. You gotta do the little wiggle. You gotta do the
Yeah.
little wiggle.
And someone seemingly just be doing this for
'Cause it seemed,
out of boredom.
with my knowledge of like wayfinding and doing the pass, it looked like this person clearly does not know where they are going. Or does it seem like no, they know what they're going.
they're on a very determined path. They just don't seem to care at all about being quiet.
3 to 4 days old, and they don't Freckles abandon their path. Really strong. I'd wager stronger than any of us. Physically. Death, so they haven't killed anything yet. I keep moving.
If it makes you feel any better, he shouldn't have traveled for more than a few hours.
Yeah, no, he clearly hasn't. In fact, actually, as you get closer, what you do come across is a road. That's where the tracks stop, and
Yeah. Bubble? Or guessing? Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Bubble? Or just a well-traveled road?
This is the marked one on the map to the town.
And is the footprints end there?
Seems to be. See, they end kind of a little bit before it, but you can see.
Yeah, Uther.
Yeah.
That's not good. The 4 days. 2 to 4 days. We arrived here 3 or 4 days ago. 5. Corvus has better sense of time than I do. There's been like weeks between sessions, so my brain's frazzled a little bit.
Mhm.
Like, it's been about 4-ish days.
4 or 5 days since you guys
Lost
got
a
here.
day. Yeah, we went in, we camped 1. Traveled, that's 2. We lost a day, that's 3. And this is day 4. We have about 4 days. Elgo's dead. Like, straight dead.
It's not. Yeah, it's the road ahead of you is much more traveled and much more packed.
Yeah.
So there's
Yeah.
no more defined footprints.
Cold means can't find it anymore. Dead means there's
Yeah.
no way.
Well, more than likely, he made his way to the road.
Don't know where he went.
Logically speaking, he would, if he was making his way to the road specifically, he would then turn to move towards the nearest settlement, would he not?
Maybe he wanted to just turn into a dragon and leave whatever happened. Also, if it's 3 or 4 days ago, that's about as long as we've been.
Well,
I don't remember seeing anyone on horseback in the road traveling.
no, which indicates that he came from a different direction.
Which we know there is. The horse was
And
just
we also traveled back roads.
through.
Well, I believe that the next thing to do would be go to the city, but we must first get Lara and Zalfea back to Miss Lara and Zalfea back to the encampment, so that we do not endanger
Oh
them
my
with the investigation.
goodness, I forgot you two were here.
She looks over to them and says that to their faces.
Yeah, Lara kind of not sure how she should respond to that. Just waves. Sindris glares at you.
I'm sorry, a horse is so much more interesting.
Miss Cheese,
What?
please do not antagonize our compatriots.
I'm not antagonizing, I'm speaking the truth.
You don't get an argument, but you're not sure if it's from agreement or shock at the bluntness of the statement. Cheese is free to assume whichever. As is everyone else.
Hmm.
Well, either way, we should probably follow along this road until a better turnoff comes to make our way back to the encampment. And if we're lucky, we might pick up another trail from this dragon man, as it were.
I wouldn't bet on it. Yeah.
Alright. Well, time to make our way back.
Just
Yeah,
on the
and it
road
doesn't take you
again.
doesn't take you very much time.
Yep.
Like you guys are not trying to be quiet anymore, so it's much easier to make your way back, especially if you stick closer to the road to do so.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Always follows an old habit of just sticking by the side of the road, so if anything's coming, it immediately just passes them by. Just habit.
Jesus just conversing with the horse, having normal conversation.
Mm-hmm. No, you all arrive back in the camp with little fuss. Though there is a little bit of fuss when you do arrive. And
Mhm.
so I'm now going to go ahead and move everyone back.
Nice. Everybody, don't be alarmed. This is Colonel Chestnut.
They seem less concerned with you and more concerned with Sindris. She's
Yeah.
well, yeah. There's a
Mhm.
relationship there. In fact,
the one who you remember it being Lydia gives her a hug, which she, it's the same way a teen's like, "Mom, you're embarrassing me." It's the same thing.
Mhm. Lessla will go up to the leader because they're standing together and gesture towards Laura and says, "This is Miss Laura, a bard that happened to have been passing through the town. From what we can tell, she was kidnapped by the mercenary guard that the town has hired, which we have identified as one of the gangs that works out of Waterdeep. Specifically, I believe these were was it Thousand Fangs?
So 1,000 Fangs, yes.
Yep. Which specifically the Thousand Fangs faction that is currently in the midst of a ongoing conflict with another one of Waterdeep's gangs.
He just sort of listens in, nods. You can see his brow furrow as he's trying to sort of sort that out.
We are going to go investigate the town now. We wish to leave Laura here, as taking her into the village itself might provide complications if she was indeed kidnapped by them.
Did you explain to him about the note as well? The note you found?
Yeah, I would produce that.
Okay.
As well as this, it would seem that Zafea, Miss Laura, as well as the brother who is missing, were targeted specifically, and it seems that they have Zafea's brother in their possession.
He stares at the note. Just stares at it, honestly. There's not much else to say. Like, you've essentially just told his a father that the trolls plaguing his town are specifically targeted against his children.
Mm-hmm.
And you were getting an appropriate response to that.
Yep.
Did we ever
That
learn
was-
if Zarfea's brother had the same like unease
Never asked.
aura?
Was
We
never
never asked. I've been slowly cultivating that relationship to learn.
Mm-hmm.
It is a slow process because people don't trust nobles. And none of you do anything to help that.
Because
You're
you're
welcome.
untrustworthy.
Peace doesn't like Cindrus.
I do nothing. Yeah, I'm not entity.
But
Uh,
after a long silence from Carter, he just takes it and like sort of like shoves it together, crumpling it angrily. If you want to go into the town, you're gonna have to do it on your own.
Leslie nods and says, I had a feeling you would not wish to risk Zafea, as well as it may hinder our ability to actually investigate if she were with us. Although she has been quite capable thus far.
Yeah, she's a good kid.
Do you have any advice for the town itself?
Keep a low profile. Don't show too much coin around. People around there are pretty desperate. If you want to get in unnoticed, there's a good way to sneak by
they don't watch one of the routes under an old, but not so much abandoned, just out of repair bridge. You'll know it when you see it. Just follow along the riverbank.
Very well, we will take your advice. And Lessla bows and says, with any luck, we shall come back with good tidings.
I wish you the best of luck.
And Lessla turns to the rest of the party and says,
Before Lessla starts to turn away, he does grab her on the shoulder.
yep, Lessla will immediately, basically do an about face to turn and get his hand off of her.
Mm-hmm.
As she says, do you need something?
Just please look out for him. He sort of nods to the crumpled up note.
Lessla nods and says, if it is possible for us to find him, I will ensure that it is done.
He takes a second to respond to that, especially if it's possible. Bit seems to not get a pleasant reaction out of him, but he does reluctantly nod after a bit. Right? Don't get yourselves caught. I don't think we'll be able to get you out.
I have faith in the capabilities of my compatriots. And she will turn to go to the party.
What is the
He's
rest of the
instantly-
party doing?
I was going to talk to the green
I
man.
see.
Put
He's
myself back there.
Rivelin, yes. He's been examining the circle off and on. Still, he's in the mode of making a very accurate sketch. He's currently adding in like all the cracks very meticulously.
He's standing, I'm standing. He's squatting, I'm squatting.
He's standing and just looking at it. He hasn't noticed you yet. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't notice you came back.
Apology. But I have some things that perhaps you could help with.
Of course, I'll do what I can.
Well,
Always happy to lend a hand.
we went out, lost a day. Completely
Lost a day.
Don't remember anything. All of us about the same time. Him too about the same time. But we encountered two people who were part of this city militia. And from overhearing, they remember the time we lost. I don't know what that is, but it means that they have the ability to not be affected.
Why don't you tell me exactly what they said? Perhaps I can gain some more insight from them.
Well, it was they were mumbling a bit, but they were having an argument. Mentioned bringing a girl who gestures to Lara, and we interrupted them. And I think in the scuffle, one of them released something from a box, which is currently in the possession of Miss Eldercrow. Was in it at some point, not anymore, and it distinctly smells of mint.
Box.
Yes,
You
a
wouldn't happen
small
to have the
box.
box.
I believe Miss Eldercrown still has it in her possession.
Miss Eldercrown. He
Just
starts walking away.
Sapphire is fine.
Yes. Miss Sapphire. You said my friend, your friend, not mine. Well, do you still have the
Corvus?
box that he mentioned? Yes,
Yeah.
Corvus.
Yes. And she will hand him the box.
Thank you. Thank you so much. He like takes it away and looks at it with the char and begins to look over it. And he takes it, goes over to his tent over here, and starts poking at it. Pulls out like some looks like a letter opener. It's not quite a dagger, but it's sharp, and starts poking around the edges until he finally wedges it into something and pries it off. And you can see that along the sort of edges of this like the edges like inside the wood, like clearly the wood is built around this, is a type of metal. Ah, that's very intriguing. It's very intriguing.
May I ask what?
It's designed to hold creatures that have a particular weakness to cold. It's cold iron inside. Uh, with the wood outside, it's not particularly harmful to fey creatures. It's certainly a very old method of doing this. Not a very reliable one, but it is a method nonetheless.
And do you wager that maybe this cold iron can protect from effect? Is that what you're suggesting?
Not necessarily protect from the effect, but if whatever you had in here was unable to target you, I would assume that's perhaps if you lift the lid and he sort of like holds the box like he's opening it towards you and to where he can't see what's inside, but you can. Yes, that might work.
You mind actually saying what's on your mind as opposed to just thinking it and leaving us out of it?
Well, if you take it and you uh, move it sort of just like this, uh, and he makes the same motion,
Mm-hmm.
you can expose whatever's inside to whoever you're pointing it at and remain, in theory, perfectly unharmed.
Well, what's sitting on that circle? What's the size of that box means that it's
Most likely
small.
the exact same thing, yes.
Yeah. And it seems to leave behind the scent of mint. So that would mean
Yes. Yes. Hmm.
cold iron could protect from it. How common is this cold iron?
That's not uncommon, but not excessively common either.
Yeah, but if you have to open the box at someone to have the creature do whatever, wouldn't the
Well,
creature
not
take that
necessarily
opportunity to
a
escape?
creature. It could be some sort of magical artifact as well.
Know that it was one of them dropped it, and I believe the two were looking for it at the time of countering them. But they didn't have a trail, and how did we? If it's able to make you forget, finding it would be.
Able to make you forget. Disappears in the forest. Lives in the forest, apparently. Forget me not.
Kind of slime.
No, certainly not an ooze. Uh, far too sophisticated for an ooze. Well, except perhaps. No. We just have figured that out by now.
Well, you said old irons against fey creatures.
Typically, yes. Very toxic to them, actually.
So if there's a mild toxin, toxins can cause sleeping effects in certain animals, being it some sleepy rather than killing them. They're easy to
Certainly
capture.
sleepy, just perhaps deter them from attempting to uh, break the way out.
Fey creature of some kind, or at least fey Jason.
Not necessarily. I think Faye would be far more intelligent than, well, this would be effective on. to make a cage out of it and with it directly exposed. That would be rather effective. For some Fae, it's even quite toxic to the touch.
Cheese, get over here. We've got a science experiment.
I don't know if she's a Spay adjacent. Miss Eldercrown. Or
Oh,
passes for
no,
a
no, no,
log
no.
of
It won't
African.
have any effect on. There's not enough Fey blood in, not even a full-blooded elf, much less a half-elf. No offense.
She just kind of waves him off. Yeah.
It was worth the assumption. Well, definitely not a beast. The beast wood would be enough generally. But if it's not a Fey, not a demon, don't imagine so.
No, not a demon or devil or any such creature, I would imagine. And
The
they're,
difference.
yeah, quite a strong difference, actually. Demons, devils, loths, all very different creatures. But now is not the time for that discussion.
I'm afraid I don't know much about this. Think of any theories or have any kind of anything to work with. Especially since it's now on the loose.
Yes. Now give me some time. I'm going to consult some texts I brought along with me. Perhaps I can find something a little more concrete.
Concrete
Right.
exist.
What?
Concrete exists in the world of Farron.
In some form, yes.
Okay. Well, I suppose that's all we can work with. A slug?
He disappears back into his tent with the box.
Yeah, no. He's better. It's better with him than us, I suppose.
It's Lessla. It's at this point he'd be finished.
Cheese has begun to braid the tail of Colonel Chestnut.
He doesn't seem to mind. Lessla, are you there?
I am here.
So it's at this point that you would have finished when everyone's heading back to the group. So if you want to call
Yep.
the group together now.
Yeah, I'll call the group together and says, all right, well, with this part of the task done, it is time for us to start our investigation of the village. I have been told by leader here that there's a way to enter the village relatively unnoticed by following along the river. I believe that will be our best option for investigation.
Mm.
Also, Green, know that the creature was kept in a box lined with something called cold iron.
Would Cheese have ever heard of cold iron?
No.
Okay.
Lessla
What
has.
about? Yes. Oh, that is interesting. Cold iron has a very specific type of process.
Yeah.
It's not something that can be done easily, nor without skill.
Said that it seems to have some effect, but it probably isn't some kind of fey. It could be related to in some way. He's going to be looking at it while we're doing.
Hmm. that would fit with the ability to that would fit with the ability to alter our memories. It is something some Fae are known for.
I've heard stories.
Although the ability for them to alter memories and be kept inside a box like this, like that, it's starts narrowing things down. That being said, if they are kept in the box and they escaped, and that's what those magical presences we saw in the forest that struck at you were, it does not surprise me that they would act so aggressively if they were captured unwillingly.
How large that stain on the old circle? Say, maybe a small piece of it, maybe more we have to worry about. Perhaps each patrol has their own box.
Hmm. Well, there's not much more we can do, so while he investigates that, let us investigate the town and try and put an end to this so that I can get to sleeping in a bed.
Quite liked sleeping on the ground again.
Yes, but it makes it much harder to brush you.
My hair's just fine the way it is.
How the people here looking? The same or worse?
Oh yeah,
The
the
people
people.
here, they're some of them are worse, some of them are about the same. Like it seems to be once they get to a certain point, it kind of evens out. There is one person who is distinctly missing.
And that is?
One of the patients who was in there, one of the ones who looked the worst.
Ooh.
One of the ill folks.
Yes.
Chill. Chill? Who is chill?
What?
Cheese. I was trying to say cheese and it did not come out correctly. Um,
Hey, it makes sense.
Cheese
Cheese is chill.
will go to whatever place that person once was and make a small flower bloom there. A little bit of baby's breath.
The tabaxi gives you a solemn smile and a nod. The orc turns away and continues doing his thing.
Nature gives, but it takes.
Cheese, as you walk away, you hear tabaxi. There, let it all out. She just said so beautiful.
Mm. Nature burns.
She
Again,
said that one under her breath, I should say.
I should hope so.
Are we taking the horse with us?
Um,
We must take Colonel Chestnut.
We are not taking
mean,
the horse
he's-
with us.
But
I
he is still
believe
looking
it
for his
will-
rider.
If we find news of his rider, we will bring it back to him. But I believe in order for us to fulfill our investigation, we will need to keep a relatively low profile.
No.
At which point, Lessla pulls out of her backpack a cloak and wraps it around herself.
With all due respect, Miss Cheese, you may be the best suited for.
Hmm.
Maybe it was a turn to animal.
Oh yes, I can do that. Do you want me to? I can. I don't know.
Once we get a better idea of what we're doing, it's not to go
Mhm.
into the bear's den without knowing when it sleeps.
I suppose that's smart.
Yes, but
Cheese
let
is
us.
going to. You go ahead.
Yes, but let us get into the relative location first, as if something were to happen. I would not want you to be alone.
Hmm.
I do not put that which belongs to me in danger unnecessarily.
And I could send someone with him.
Corvus, remind you, I have a question to ask you later. But yes, please, let us go.
Cheese is going to say goodbye to Colonel Chestnut, and she's going to give a very formal goodbye, as formal as Cheese can muster, anyways. And try and give what she's seen previously as a salute. She doesn't know if it's. She's gonna try.
Which type of salute?
A salute that she saw in Waterdeep, because that would have been probably the only place she would have seen
That's
it.
true. Whenever the captain arrived, the guards might have a little.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
Makes sense.
She's gonna mimic the salute of the guards in Waterdeep.
Sapphire, seeing this, will kind of give a bow to Colonel Chestnut.
We
Since
hope to
are comfortable.
return with a mission success.
With that, that is where I'm going to call it for tonight.
Ah,
All right.
And-
All right. That we'll call it here for today. As always, have a good morning, good afternoon, and good evening wherever you are. And remember to stay frosty. For those of you who like the music, enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe. And if you want to support the channel, please visit the links down in the description. Until next time.